Hey guys, Justin Williams back here with College Fishing 101. Well, it's finally that time. This is going to be my honest review of the Catch 130 HD kayak from Pelican. I'm not in this video going to review the hydro drive system itself. That's going to be for a later video. I want to be able to set that aside on its own because I've got my own grievances and my own likes about that separately. This is going to be a review of just the kayak. So here it is, Catch 130 HD. As you can see, the hydro drive is out of it currently. It's in the truck. This kayak is 12 foot and 6 inches long according to Pelican's website. If you add on the rudder and everything else, it makes it up to 13 feet. So that's hence the name 130. We'll start at the front of the kayak. I kind of did this when I did my I got a new kayak video, but I'm going to do a full in-depth review right now. First things first is Pelican handles. Never had an issue with any Pelican handle on any kayak I've ever had. They're stout, they're riveted in there. They give you a good hand grip right here, which you need for this monstrosity of a kayak, because this thing is heavy and long. I highly request that you get some kind of trailer, or you get a really good bed extender for your truck, because for me this thing's about 6 feet longer than the bed of my truck, so I actually end up putting it on a trailer. So working our way back, you come into this first storage compartment, and this is really what the difference between the Catch 130 and the Catch 100 is this little addition right here into the front. It's good for storage if you want to keep like a lunchbox up here, if you want to keep a backpack or something like that, or if you're taking this kayak down a river and you're doing like a nightstand or night stay, you could easily pack up all your camping supplies up here in the front. Moving on back, you get 4 Scotty mounts, which I previously said I think is a little much in my I got a new kayak video, and I still believe it is. These front 2 I've still yet to find a use for. This is actually to hold my net when I'm taking a fish out and stuff like that, but even then I've got way too much rails on here to start with. So I mean, they give you the customization and the ability to put wherever you want to, but still it's a little much. The hydro drive holding system works really well. It's really simple. All you have to do is when you put your hydro drive in, you flap these 2 levers down to pull it out. You pick them back up and take it out. There's 2 metal bars on the side of the hydro drive that fit down in there, and you just lock them on, and then it's on its day. And trust me, when they're in there, that hydro drive is not coming out regardless if you hit something with it or not. Learn that from personal experience. Later video though. Moving on back, you get to the Pelican seats. Like I've said before, Pelican premium seats are fantastic. They're not a feel-free by no means, but they're not bad at all. I just finished fishing for about 5 hours and my back didn't even hurt at all. So no grievances there. The rudder system, here's the rudder handle to turn the steering knob. It's not bad, it's not great. I have some issues with it. I think I need to go in there and just tighten up the cables. It's really the only issue I have, but I mean, the rudder, which is back there, I mean, it's fine. It locks down in place. The up and down controls are right here. You just pull one forward and it raises it. You pull the other one forward and it lowers it. You have a side handle here, which I'm torn between if I like that being there or not. It's for you to carry this kayak. However, unless you're a bodybuilder and lift on a daily basis, you're not gonna be able to carry this kayak from the middle. It's just too long and bulky, and it just spreads the weight out too much, so it's too difficult. Moving on back again, let's just cover the seat mounts one more time. The seats is ingressed. It's different from the Catch 100, where in the Catch 100 you were able to move the seat. You cannot move this one. You can take it out completely and put in a new one if you wanted to, but this seat, it only has one staying position. You get these 2 side pocket things, which is where I keep my bottles of water and I keep my camera gear stuff sitting right there. That way it's close to me. Again, they're good, they're useful. I really wouldn't want to put a tackle box right there just because I feel like it would get in the way, but I mean, for holding bottles of water and stuff, it's great. Back of Pelican seats, all the premium seats have this little web pocket here. That's great. I mean, it holds your stuff. You ain't gonna lose it. Once it's in there, it's got an elastic band here on the top, so it's actually a lot bigger pocket than it looks. You get 4 rod holders, 2 on this side, 2 on that side. And I'm really happy that, I'm not saying they listened to me, but one of my grievances on the Catch 100 was that there was 2 forward mounting rod holders, and it was unnecessary. You only really need 1, because if it's 2 forward ones and you have rods in there, you can't paddle. With these, you have 3 facing the rear, which means you can actually use these to store rods, and they'll be out of your way while you're paddling. The front run is great for if you're swapping out lures and stuff. It works really well. You're not going to have an issue, and it's at a pretty decent angle as well. Towards the back, I've got my tough crate in there right now, but there's the same storage compartment as the Catch 100. Again, it's big enough to hold a tough crate. It's big enough to hold a milk crate. It's going to be big enough to hold a yak pack crate. So, I mean, they've accounted for that. They've actually, in this one, let me move my spinnerbait box. They actually added in an extra probably 4 inches of space here. That way, if your tackle box is more linear, more like a rectangle than it is a square, in this direction, you have that extra space to hold it, which was designed for the yak attack boxes and stuff like that. All of the straps on here are elastic nylon, whatever you want to call them. They're not going to come off. I don't really like the one on the back because I feel like it stretches too much. I feel like they use these hooks right here just to hook them on. I would have liked to seen an actual another lip right there, but I mean, that's something I could add on extra if I just hate it that much. But it's just, these tend to pop off when you're picking your stuff in and out. It gets kind of aggravating. Moving more to the back, you have this hatch right here, which I do have an issue with. This hatch is a waterproof hatch, supposedly. But the problem is that if you don't have it sealed right, which I don't think I do in this case, the water will actually leak into it. In this compartment, there is a scub hole in this compartment to let water out, which, I mean, it's fine. I'm cool with that. Pelican sells scub hole, scubbers, whatever you want to call them, the blockers, the plugs, or whatever, scub plugs if you want to call them, to keep that dry. However, if you keep it wet, that does not mean your kayak should sink. I was fishing earlier in the year, and I did not have this hatch sealed properly, unbeknownst to me, and the water that was coming in sits about the bottom level of this hatch. So all the water that was filling up in here, because there's weight in the back and the scub hole was empty, was leaching into my kayak and actually filling it up with water. I probably had over probably 60 gallons in the back of this thing and didn't even know it. Now I would say 60, about probably 20 or 30 gallons in the back of it and didn't even know it. I looked back, and you see the water level, as you can see, normally sits about here. The water level was sitting about here on my kayak, and it freaked me out. So I had to go immediately get to the shore and drain all that out. Again, you have 2 more rear Pelican hatches or latches here in the back. All of the handles all have this little cutout for you, so you can get your hand in there and you don't have to worry about it if you have a bigger hand. They're good, they're stout, they're all riveted in, they're not going to go nowhere. Pelican, stupidly, for some reason, again, I could probably move this if I just had to, but they put the drainage hole about a good foot from the bottom of the kayak. So if you tilt your kayak up to drain it out, there's a foot of space down here that's not draining. I don't get why they did that. That was stupid. They could have easily put it right here. They could have easily put it on the side. They could have put it underneath this handle for all I care. There's no need to put it a foot up where you're leaving, and that's a big space back there. There's probably 10 or 15 gallons of water that can sit back there after you drain your kayak out, which is completely ridiculous. They should have moved that. That's a horrible position for that. Further going back again, the last thing here is the rudder. The rudder latches down pretty safe. I have not had an issue with the rudder other than the steering cables. I think I need to tighten up because I have a harder time turning to the left than I do turning to the right. Turning to the right than I do the left. One of the two. I have to remember which one it was. I think that pretty much covers it. The price point at this kayak sits around $1,500, give or take $100, depending on where you buy it from. And for that price, it's not bad. There's a couple build quality things I'll get to in the hydro drive video, which will be next, that I release after this video, that I want to cover, and there's just some issues there. But other than that, for $1,500, it's the cheapest pedal kayak you're gonna have. I gotta move my car real quick. Hey guys, sorry about that. I ended up having to move my kayak and my truck out of the way because somebody else was trying to get to the boat ramp. But I just wanted to finish up this video real quick and say that for the price point, the kayak, I mean, it's a good deal. Most pedal kayaks are going to run you excess of almost $2,000, at least $1,800. The cheapest one that I know with a pedal drive system of some sort is the Predators, and I don't even think they're selling anymore. So you gotta find deals on those. But even those are running at $1,800. So for it to be a $1,500 kayak, it's not a bad deal. The kayak itself, the actual boat itself, is great, fantastic. It's super stable. I've taken this thing down multiple rivers, big rivers too. Talking, what is the name of that river I went down of? I think it's the Coosa. Yeah. Like I've said, this thing, the kayak itself, the boat itself, is extremely nice. You're looking at a 12-foot kayak that's super stable. You can stand up in it comfortably. You can sit down in it comfortably. It's not that difficult to paddle, even when you don't have the hydro drive system in it. I've taken it down the Coosa River already, and it was a good. I mean, it was long, but it was a good paddle. I mean, I could tell that it wasn't that big. The rudder system helps out a lot when it comes to steering, because then you can just float and use your rudder to tell you which direction you want to go. So, but like I always say, guys, like and share this video if you enjoyed it. I'm going to start trying to post 2 to 3 times a week starting from now. So if you're new to my channel, subscribe. If you're not, welcome back.